let's begin by talking about your background before you became the architect of the Capitol. Your father was an architect, but I understand he advised you not to become an architect, and instead you decided to study engineering.
That's right. My father had gone through the Depression, struggling as an architect because there was very little construction going on during that period, and therefore very little design work and very little architecture. He had struggled so much, he thought it was too big a risk to go into that as a permanent profession. And I was always technically oriented anyway, and so he advised that I study engineering, which I did. And I graduated, as you said, from MIT. I was in the class of 41, but I got my master's and my bachelor's together in 1942. And the war was on, of course, and so I was involved in war work, still with the General Electric Company, and did a lot of work on radar systems and that sort of thing. Then, when the war was over in 1945, I decided I would go to the Harvard Business School. I was always a good student and enjoyed studying anyway, and so that's what I did. I was in the class of June of 1948 from the Harvard Business School, and that's when I went to work in my father's office. And while I was working in my father's office, the profession of architecture and engineering was struggling at that period with a lot of legal ramifications, professional liability and so on. And I didn't intend to graduate from law school. I just thought I'd enroll for a semester and sort of learn the language and become familiar with it. And I did that, but I became fascinated with the law. It was like a good book. I couldn't put it down. And so I finished law school and passed the bar, but I never practiced law as such.